Hello and welcome to Tarble Arena. It is Chris LaBosco here alongside me. I have Eric Elger as we get ready for the Carthage Firebirds versus the Augustana Vikings. Carthage coming in here and hosting the Vikings. 2 wins off of their last 2, Eric, as they get ready for their next game in this next CCIW conference game, where they are currently 5-3, which puts them 3rd in the conference.
Yeah, you can take a look at kind of some teams bunched up in the middle there. Carthage coming off a win against North Central, but where they're kind of at is you can see a bunch of teams with 5-4-3 losses. So Carthage, if they want to be in that top 4, make the postseason, this is going to be a crucial game, and we'll see what the Firebirds have in store for the Vikings today.
For the Vikings, they come in with the 3-5 conference record, 7-10. You can look here at the last time that Augustana played here. They had a 64-62 loss to Wheaton College. Callie Pepez and Carly Stone, their 2 leading scorers in that one.
Yeah, Augustana just coming up a little short against Wheaton. That was at home, so Augustana going to be looking to bounce back. As you can see, a tough loss. And Stone and Papez, and someone you don't see on there was Emma Berg, who only played 10 minutes that game, and she's their captain and someone who I see on the floor here in warm-up, so expect her to play a bigger role against the Firebirds.
We'll be watching out for that matchup for Carthage as we look at their last game against North Central, a 63-60 buzzer beater winner for that one, as Mariana Morrissey led the scores with 15 points.
Yeah, they really did a good job rebounding last game. They out-rebounded North Central by 18, and that coach Megan Jones said was a huge factor for how they came out on top. And the big shot of the game, Alyssa Orozco, who hit a 3 in overtime as there's just a few seconds left. You saw the Firebird bench go nuts at that game, and it was an exciting win and something you would like to see the Firebirds really catapult off of.
Definitely want to see them try and control the game like they did last time that they ended up playing Augustana. It was a 71-57 win. Mariana Morrissey led the way in scoring again in that one. They really dominated that game too. Had almost a 50% team percentage for their shots. They had 22 points off of turnovers and 25 points off of their bench. So all around, they had a huge game against them last time.
Yeah, and that was where Alyssa Orozco really made a big name for herself after not starting so many games. I believe she's been banged up a little bit this year, but she chipped in 13 points off the bench for Carthage, and that was a win that they got right before they went to Puerto Rico, and they kind of went on a little win streak bouncing off that Augustana. After they won against Augustana, they went on to win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more games in a row, so they're hoping to see something similar happen this afternoon.
Yeah, 2 of their losses were just recently against Illinois Wesleyan, one of the, as we know, at the top of the conference of the CCIW, and then Millikan as well. As you can see here, the team stats for Augustana in their CCIW ranks, not towards, they're right towards the middle of the pack, kind of where they are CCIW standings-wise as well.
Yeah, you can see, I think one thing that stands out to me is their turnover margin. They've really struggled with a negative, almost 3 turnovers a game. And what we know about the Firebirds is the way they like to play defense. They like to force turnovers, get steals, and Augustana is really going to have to try to alleviate some of that if they're going to want to come out on top tonight. And there you can see the Firebirds and their rankings.
Yeah, first in opponent points. Incredible defense that they've been playing, also holding their opponents to such a low field goal percentage. So a really great defensive effort that they've been putting forward in the CCIW.
Yeah, they've really let their defense almost dictate their offense sometimes by getting the pressure and getting out in fast break opportunities. And someone like Mariana Morrissey leads the point of that press that they like to deploy, and they really get a lot of turnovers, and there's not a big drop-off when someone like Grace Wamser comes in on defense, and they've done a nice job of forcing those turnovers. And offensively, they're in the middle of the pack, 5th in the CCIW, but they have a lot of different options. Orozco's really stepped up. Someone like Emma Fissel, who played all 45 minutes in last game, she leads the way with assists in the CCIW, so they are leaning on their defense, but are really good offensively as well.
Good three-point shooting team as well, 4th in the conference for that. And in that game that they played Augustana last time, Aaliyah Green went 3 of 4 from 3. So we'll see if they can have a repeat effort like that in this one here today.
Good afternoon, student athletes, coaches, staff, and fans, and welcome to Tarble scored her 1,000th career point against Elmer right here at Tarble Arena, becoming the 26th player in program history to reach the 1,000-point milestone. She is currently ranked 24th all-time in program history with 1,050 points. Fans, let's hear it one more time for Maria Morrissey. Now, fans, please direct your attention towards the American flag located at the north end of the arena. It draped over the coffin of Captain Frank Bavering, a former Carthage student who died in Vietnam in 1970. The flag is a gift to the college from his parents. In remembering Captain Bavering, we pay tribute to all who have sacrificed their lives for our country and honor those who today put themselves in harm's way in service to America. At this time, we ask that you please rise if you are able and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem by the Carthage College Pep Band. Starting lineups. First, for the visiting Augustana Vikings.
All right.
At guard, a 5'8" freshman from Silvis, Illinois, number 12, Audrey Erickson. At guard, a 5'3" junior from Moline, Illinois, number 13, Cadence Tatum. At guard, a 5'8" junior from Beaverton, Ohio, number 20, Carly Stone. At forward, a 6'3" junior from St. Charles, Illinois, number 21, Natalie Hoppes. And at guard, a 5'8" sophomore from Moline, Illinois, number 30, Paige Melton. The head coach of the Vikings is Mark Bonthorn. Coach Bonthorn is assisted by Marquisha Harris-Loso and Eric Wall and Abby Staples. All right, Firebird fans, make some noise. It's showtime. Coach Jones is assisted by Madison Nish and graduate assistant Lauren Herman.
All right, we welcome you back in here at Tarble Arena. It's Chris LaBosco and Eric Elger as we get ready for the opening tip-off here for this game for the Carthage College Firebirds versus the Augustana Vikings. As you see the lineup there for the Vikings, Audrey Erickson, Candace Tatum, Carly Stone, Callie Pepez, and Paige Melton will start off on the floor first. For the Firebirds, Melina Green, Emma Carlson, Emma Thistle, Elena Niebel, and Mariana Morrissey will be the ones for the Firebirds.
A typical starting lineup there for the Firebirds. They really love the group they have here, and something that we've seen, I know this is your first home game here for the women's team, they can get a quick bucket. They have plays right off the tip-off, and there's been at least 3 times where they've scored in 5 seconds, and
Pass was just a little bit off to Morrissey, a little bit behind her, so Augustana will get control after that as they will now get set up in their offense. As coming in from the wing on the far side, back into the middle, Pepez, as she looks to pass it back out, and that one's stolen away by Green, and Green will now slow it down on the offensive side.
And there you can see, as I mentioned pregame, looking for those turnovers. Augustana gives the ball up a lot. Carthage going to take advantage of that as it's like Thistle steps out of bounds.
Yeah, had that right foot go out of bounds, so now it will be Augustana's ball as they will quickly inbound. As you can see, that full court press coming from and there's a kicked ball from Carthage. Good defense so far, making it tough for them to get it across that timeline for Augustana.
Yeah, and Megan Jones is talking about it's not always about getting steals on this trap. They just like speeding up the offense of the other team, and you know, it gives a little chaos out there, and Carthage can take advantage of that by getting in the passing lane and knock the ball away, and they've done a nice job all season with that.
Man-to-man defense now as they man up, tipped ball there, still manages to get inside, trying to work down low on the block, and getting the basket will be 21, Callie Pepez. They've been going to her pretty early here at the start. A lot of touches for her down low.
Yeah, I mean, at 6'3", one of the taller players in the conference, and she shoots 60% from the field, 84% from the free throw line. So a nice touch, soft touch around the basket, and she's going to be tough for the Firebirds to stop.
Passing it down inside onto the low block themselves, spinning and shooting and scoring was Emma Carlson.
And Emma Carlson says she's ready for this matchup here. 2 of the best bigs in all of the conference, and it's fun to see them already go head-to-head there on back-to-back possessions.
Driving in off the pick and roll was Erickson. Foul called. See, looks like she's going to the line. Wasn't sure if she was in the air when the foul was called, and it was. So Erickson here to the line to shoot 2 with 8:15 left to go here in quarter number 1. Low scoring here in the beginning, and now a 3-2 lead for Augustana after that first make.
Yeah, just Thistle just getting her hand in there a little bit, trying to steal the ball. Augustana able to draw the foul.
Good free throw shooting team in Augustana as well, as they put a little bit of a trap on themselves. Quickly broke in though by Morrissey, driving in, and then the whistle here. And I don't know if they called her for a travel. I didn't see the signal from the ref, but it's a turnover. No more. Oh no, yeah, it is a turnover.
Yeah, ref called it. She kind of got it stuck on her hip a little bit, so I don't know if that counts as a travel or a carry. Either way, Morrissey just getting a little ahead of herself, but that's the speed that Carthage likes to use to break the traps and presses like Augustana's using today.
I think we've already had 2 kicked balls in this game, just being very active on the floor right now for Carthage, getting in those passing lanes. Unfortunately, though, they don't get the ball, but 20 seconds on the shot clock. So putting some pressure on Augustana defensively as driving in, blocked shot there. Nice little tip back to get the ball in bounds, and driving down is Malia Green. Green with the pass over to the near corner, and that shot up in the air from the elbow. Rebound though, and they keep control for Carthage.
There you can see Malia Green, one of the best shot blockers for the Firebirds. You wouldn't guess it by her height, but blocks a shot and gets Carthage out in front here.
Three-pointer from the corner, far corner, misses from Mariana Morrissey, and Augustana quickly coming back the other way. Pass inside, another quick little shot, and another basket for Callie Pepez. She has been all of the offense pretty much for Augustana to this point.
Yeah, there you could see she just turned and just puts up that little soft jumper. It felt like she was going to be backing down Emma Carlson, but just quickly turns around and gets the shot off.
Green driving in, gets the basket there. Finally, something on the offensive side for Carthage as they now make it a 2-point game.
It's a little bit of the members bounce there. Soft roll off the rim, but great drive there by Malia Green. Attacking to the basket.
She was 5 of 7 the last time these two teams played each other for Green, as Augustana works it down low once again, and that's a pass right to the Firebirds as they will come back the other way, trying to get the fast break going. Will slow things down over to Green on the far side. Back up top for Carlson, who will work it around the perimeter, back over to the near, looking for the cutter coming in, and that one not quite going to fall, but it's a foul on Green.
Again, looks like Malia Green being very active, and she's someone who on the offensive side will just kind of take what comes during the offense, and there she's being a little more aggressive, cutting hard off that screen, and wasn't able to get the shot in, but drawing foul, and that aggression paying off early for Malia Green.
So she's going to go to the line here for 2. A couple substitutions coming in too for the Firebirds. Looks like it's number 34, Alyssa Orozco is one of them. I think there was another one, though, too. Green's first shot is up and good.
Yeah, it looks like just Orozco, but I don't know if Augustana got, looks like number 3 coming onto the floor, Lexi Hayes.
No, that's what I know. I saw too. It was one from each team. Different, a little bit different colored jerseys, too.
I gotcha. And there's Nora Ram. You're just predicting that substitution as well.
There we go. So they do make 2 for the Firebirds. And now the full court press is on as Augustana inbounds to the corner, almost falling into that trap. They start to break it a little bit, but now they've got to get past the timeline. Pass a little bit too far in front, and the trap does its work as it now coming down the floor are the Firebirds. Pass over to the far side. Looking for someone inside was Orozco. She passes it over to Mariana, who gets the basket inside. Gets her first 2 points of the game, and it's a lead for Carthage.
Mariana Morrissey got a little pregame ceremony, scoring over 1,000 points in her career, so congratulations to her again, and she's adding 2 more points to that total.
1,002 for her, is now inside again. Makes the move with the shoulder dip. Doesn't get the basket, though. Does Pepez, and now a scramble for the ball on the floor. And jump ball and possession arrow points towards Augustana, so it looks like they will keep it here.
Nice hustle there by Morrissey. You can see how much she means to this team, so not just a scorer, but willing to dive on the floor and tie up the basketball, try to get back in the Firebirds' hands.
Fortunately for them, though, it's a fresh shot clock that Augustana gets, but they're going to go work to Pepez inside. Doesn't get the roll, and the quick rebound by number 21, Thistle, coming down the court quickly, as she will now slow things back up as she makes a pass off to the near side, and then back over to Morrissey, driving in with the left hand. Doesn't get that one to fall, goes back up for the second try, and I think she got fouled there on her attempt going up, so she will go to the line for 2.
Nice job to swipe through the defender's arms there, and wasn't able to get the basket, but gets her own rebound. And something that we talked about early is Carthage, one of the best rebounding teams in the conference, led by Emma Carlson, but someone like Mariana Morrissey right up there in terms of rebounding averages as well.
Wasn't a shooting foul, so they inbounded the ball back over to the near side, as now it's working on the lower block, but getting her pocket picked, and now it's back for Augustana, as it was number 13 in Tatum who did that. She has the ball outside on that far elbow as they now work it around over to Hayes. Hayes looking to drive in, stops her dribble and has to pass it back away. Berg now from the top of the key will pass it back over to the near side for Melton. Melton slowing things down, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Looking to drive in, right hand, takes the shot, doesn't get it to fall, and that'll be rebound number 21 in Thistle as she quickly pushes it down the court.
Nice job by Orozco there, keeping her hand up, and that's a situation that a lot of players will foul there, but if she just stays strong, straight up, able to get the miss there from Augustana.
Aram from the near side, passing it down to the low block over to Cord. Cord working inside, takes the shot with the right hand and gets the roll. Nice one off the glass.
Yeah, she was trying to back post up there and found like she couldn't really move number 14, Tia Lewis, much, so it did like almost a little fadeaway there off the glass. Soft touch.
And they've been working inside here for Augustana. Now an open shot from the free throw line for number 14, for Lewis. So Tia Lewis with her first 2 points of the game as Carthage quickly works this one back up court.
Yeah, early on this game, it's really been a lot of battles in the paint, kind of going back and forth. We saw Carlson go back and forth. And then right there,
3 from Nora Aram. 13-8 now the lead for Carthage.
Aram's one of those spark plugs off the bench. She's tenacious on the defensive end, and as you can see, can knock down a 3, and she did not shoot well last game, so already knocking down her first shot of the game today.
Good defense on the other side for Carthage, but they can't pick up the ball off the floor. Another basket miss. Got to get control of that rebound, and finally does Cord, and she gets fouled. So another foul over onto the side of Augustana. And it looks like we're going to have some substitutions here too for the Vikings. But timeout is going to be taken first. So 13-8 the lead right now for the Firebirds. And it seems like they're trying to get themselves in control. Defensively, they've been pretty good here at the start, Eric. It's offensively where they've been having some struggles.
Yeah, it just seems like a couple, we had a couple turnovers earlier on, but as we take a look at some of the highlights here, but it's been a battle in the paint. As you can see, Papez right here backing down Carlson. I'm not sure if they're going to show the next possession, but Carlson on the very next possession getting it back. As you can see, Morrissey does such a nice job of keeping her eyes open. And then some little Morrissey 2-point basket there. But yeah, I think it's obvious what Augustana wants to do. There's not been a lot of shots outside. They've been passing it into someone like Kylie Papez or Tia Lewis, and a lot of their offense is going through that. So Carthage, after giving up the first few buckets in the paint, they've really been stout defensively of being straight up and really doing a nice job of making it tough for Augustana. But yeah, it seems like they still need to find some rhythm offensively.
Yeah. I mean, they're getting there. Their defense, like you said, is definitely what really is the driving thing for them. They've been trying to push it up court and get some fast break opportunities, but Augustana, at least so far, has done a good job of getting back on defense to not allow anything to come from it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I noticed that too, is that it seems like when Carthage is getting those defensive rebounds, it's turn and go. And I think that is partly because Augustana likes to run that full court press, similar to what Carthage runs. So if you can race up the court before they can set that up, that helps them get in their offense.
Speaking of breaking the trap, almost did right there. Splitting the defenders, now throw over to the far side, over to RM, who's over now the timeline. Pass quickly into the middle to Cord, goes up with the right hand, can't get it to fall, and the rebound goes over to the Vikings, who quickly push it back the other way, don't allow for the trap to get set up for Carthage.
An interesting lineup here for Carthage. Only one starter in. Got some like Grace Wamser, Aram, and Pekaski along with Cord. So this is, I would say, one of their fastest, one of the more speedy lineups that Carthage can put out there. So I think they're going to continue to try to push the ball up and get ahead of that Augustana trap.
Last time they played Augustana, they did have 25 bench points, so a lot of bench points previously. Wonder if this is a similar setup as last time. Aram with the ball on the far side will pass it off as they now get set up into their offense. Looking for the pass there was Thistle. Thistle will just swing it back outside as it now gets to the top of the keep to Aram. Spins around, pass to Cord as they work it around the perimeter. They're getting low in the shot clock here with 7 seconds left. Thistle with the ball will shoot a 3 wide open, hits the back of the rim and bounces away. Long rebound. Nobody there, though, for Carthage to get that one, and Augustana back on the offensive side.
Yeah, Augustana did a sound job defensively. They really kept Carthage on the perimeter there. And without, I mean, you got Grace Cord down there, but they're really going to go 4 wide on the offensive end, and Augustana did a nice job of preventing any types of drives.
Melton with the pass outside for 3. That one off the mark, hits off the rim and goes out, so it will be Firebirds' ball. And we didn't mention it earlier. We did talk a little bit about how they really look to work the ball inside. They don't shoot a lot of threes for Augustana. 28% is their three-point shooting percentage on the year. So not a very good three-point shooting team. And they get a turnover here, though, now, as they will just dribble it back out and set up their offense. Smith passing it back down low over for Lang. And then from the free throw line, it was Pepez who is their leading scorer in this one.
Yeah, again, just turning, face squaring up, and settling for the jumper again. But, man, she has knocked both of those down. And I don't know if Augustana, I don't know why wouldn't you continue to work through number 21.
Speaking of number 21, Thistle driving inside, can't get the shot to fall. Rebound, though, is good. 15-10 now the lead with 49 seconds left in quarter number 1.
I mean, you can see why Carlson's one of the best rebounders in the conference. It didn't look like she had a chance to come up with that in between 3 Vikings, but the strength able to get it out there and get an easy bucket.
Back inside for Pepez, finds the wide open shot for 3, and that was Audrey Erickson sinking that one. Makes it a 2-point game here with 27 seconds left. Stuck in the corner, picked up her dribble was Aram. The pass gets deflected off. Seeing if they said, couldn't quite tell if that touched a Firebird or not, but they're saying it was off of Augustana, so now they'll have the sideline inbound. Pass over to the near side. Thistle finding a wide open player on the far side. Back outside, Thistle with the shot from 3. Hits off the rim. Rebound coming in. Can't quite get it to fall. And now Augustana has the ball with 12 seconds left here in this first quarter. Pass to the near side to Stone. Stone driving. Pass over to the far side for Smith. Smith for 3. Hits the rim. Bouncing around. Pepez picks it up. Doesn't get her shot off before the buzzer, though. So a close first quarter that we have here with a 15-13 lead for Carthage.
Yeah, not a lot separated them in terms of the scoreboard, and also take a look at some of the stats. Both teams shooting around 40%. Carthage has 1-3, 1-5. Augustana just 1 of 2, but I think the big thing that will continue to be a part of this game is the rebounding differential. And right now, Carthage with 4 offensive rebounds, 10 overall, and a +3 in terms of the board. So, Carthage, if they're not able to hit some of those shots, you saw someone like Thistle there. She missed the 3, gets her own rebound, unable to connect, but someone like Carlson was able to cash in those second chance points.
As you see here, them going to Pepez on the replay. This was the shot from outside that fell. They've been really working inside out for their offense for Augustana at this point. Like you said, though, they're behind in rebounds, but they're keeping the score close. They actually are almost even in offensive rebounds for the Firebirds, 3 for the Vikings.
And I think a big thing, too, is that Augustana on the season is losing the turnover differential by 3, but in this game, they are +3 in turnovers, or +2, excuse me. Carthage has 5. Augustana doing a nice job of keep control of the ball with only 3 turnovers. So that is something that we mentioned pregame, is that Augustana can take better care of the ball, and really it's almost like a old ground and pound kind of football offense that they got going right here. Is taking care of the ball, not making turnovers, and trying to get high percentage shots close to the hoop.
The one thing I think that's been surprising to me is early on in this game, Carthage really handled the trap really well, and there at the end they were having a little bit of trouble. I think they just need to make sure that they keep pushing the ball like they were earlier, because at least then they're breaking the trap.
Yeah, so sprinting out in front, it gives them that chance to get into the offense earlier or try to get an early 2-point opportunity. But how about someone like Emma Thistle, who, as I mentioned, last game played all 45 minutes.
Wow.
With the 5 minutes of overtime added to the 40. And I don't think she came out this quarter at all. So if you're a Carthage on the Carthage bench, you're really battling for 4 spots on the floor right now, because Coach Megan Jones is penciling in Emma Thistle as one of those spots. And it doesn't, again, she's played every minute this quarter, and it's going to be interesting to see if there's a time where she does get pulled out.
Interesting. I thought it looked like we were about to get ready to inbound, but I think they're talking to the scorers table right now, or the officials. So I don't know if there's some sort of correction that they need to make or what's going on, but they're talking about that, which gives us a little bit more time here. You talked about earlier, Eric, that the starters really got an early rest in this game early on. Not a lot of fouls on anybody or anything like that, so they should be pretty well rested coming into the second quarter.
Yeah, it's like that lineup that they had in there at the end was definitely more speed lineup. Someone like had a Rom, Pekaski in there. So now you take a look, starters are back in. And so someone who had some early success on the offensive end was Malia Green. And so seeing her back in the lineup, see if they turn to her to get some more baskets. But I think, and if I had to guess this whole situation with the refs and the monitor, sometimes they can review things like, did the shooter step on the three-point line, so it's a 3 versus a 2? Because I believe they did make a correction earlier in the season where they added a point or took away a point, I forget, after reviewing the monitor. So we're a little bit far away from the situation to know what's going on exactly, but my kind of guess is maybe
something like that.
Or I think it was like a shot clock violation. Was it a shot clock violation or not? And they undid the shot clock violation and awarded the team 2 points. So we'll see what the announcement is here.
There were a couple of those three-pointers that were close to being on the line, too. So you alluded to that earlier. That could be what they're looking at right now. Obviously, we're just speculating here. We're up here. We've got a bird's-eye view from where we are on the court. We're not down courtside, so we do see some other discussion going on as well as they're kind of talking things through, whatever it might be.
Yeah, it's just interesting how they have the replay set up here in the CCIW, and it just seems like there's new rules kind of going on all the time. But yeah, instead of like stopping the game and reviewing if a play, whether that's what it is, 3 or 2 shot clock violation or not, they wait until there's a stopped moment, like in between quarters, before they look at that. And they're really taking a check to see what is going on here. But
well, while we got a second here, let's give you the points leader so far in the game. Callie Pepez is the overall point leader with 6 for Augustana and overall in the game. Malia Green with 4, Emma Carlson with 4 as well, and then Audrey Erickson with 5 for the Vikings. So scoring, only 3 scores for one side. We've got 4 for the Firebirds while we're waiting here. And
I mean, this is kind of playing into the games Carthage have played, as usually they haven't been in a really high-scoring games, and this 15-13 is really playing into, as we saw Carthage, the #1 defense in the conference, and so they kind of are imposing that style onto Augustana. Just can Carthage continue to find opportunities for some of their other scorers when it's not someone like Carlson, or really Morrissey is not really exerted herself offensively yet, and we know how talented she is. You don't score over 1,000 points by sitting back offensively, so she'll get more involved here as we go on as well.
Now looking at last game these two played, it was actually a better second quarter for Augustana. They outscored the Firebirds in that one, so we'll see if the Firebirds have a better second quarter this time, as they are currently working the ball around the perimeter, get it inside to Morrissey. That one doesn't fall, tries to get her own rebound, gets some help to grab it, and they work it back outside. I think that hit the rim, but the shot clock I don't think reset. Either way, it's going to be Firebirds controlling and looking over for Morrissey again, driving, passing it back outside as they work the shot clock down to 5. Back inside, turnaround shot doesn't fall for Knievel, as they will come back the other way for the Vikings.
You can see Augie defensively really blitzed Elena Knievel there as she got the ball in the post, and they brought a double team right away, and that really caused some trouble for Elena to try to get that basket up there. But again, Augustana doing a nice job of not getting any good looks up.
And Pepez with somebody in her face gets her 8th point of the game and ties the game at 15 as they quickly break the press here. Oh, letting the ball go because she thought it wasn't for her, it was Knievel, and now it'll be back over for the Vikings. So another turnover here plaguing the Firebirds.
How about that Callie Pepez turnaround jumper? Lethal so far this afternoon.
Now they get the rebound here, slowing it down a little bit as they do come across court. Thistle back over to the far side, for Morrissey, as they work this one around the perimeter. Back down low, coming in with the left hand, not able to get it to fall as Knievel. So she's not getting her shot to land. She's getting some decent looks.
Yeah, they're getting it pretty deep into the paint there, but again, you can see Augustana blitzing, doubling Knievel there, and she's had a hard time, and looks like some miscommunication there.
Paige Melton was making a pass to the official, but
Yeah,
the official unfortunately not on her team.
I wonder if that was, sometimes when you're in the heat of a battle of the game, you just see somebody kind of waving around or standing over there. You just pass it without knowing exactly who it is. And unfortunate for Augustana, it was not a team member in blue.
Fortunate, though, for the Firebirds is now they have control on the offensive side, getting down towards the 10-second mark of the shot clock. Shot from Green from outside, doesn't fall, rebound, and a foul on the rebound. I think they're going to put that one on to Knable. So not many fouls on the Firebirds, so it's okay to take one here, slow things down.
Yeah, I mean, that's one that you could see how hard Elena was crashing the boards and trying to get a second chance opportunity for a team. So a little bump, but no harm, no foul really in the end. And you'd like Coach Jones to say, hey, stay aggressive. We'll live with that.
Press was broken pretty quickly that time as the Vikings drive in, ball tipped away from from number 30 in Melton, and they say that it was off of an Augustana player, so this will be an inbound play for the Firebirds.
Yeah, Carlson did a nice job stepping up there and using her body to almost jar the ball loose, and a turnover there for the Vikings, and we'll see where Carthage turns offensively. It's been a lot of perimeter passing, so how can they solve this puzzle?
Well, a shot from outside from Morrissey doesn't land off the rim, but the offensive rebound goes to the Firebirds as they manage to keep control. Now here on the outside, Thistle passing it over to Green. Green trying to direct traffic, passes it back up top side for Morrissey, who swings it back out to the corner. 6 seconds left on the shot clock as they need a shot here. Green's got to put it up. Need a shot. Was that before the shot clock went off? Does it matter? Rebound goes to the Vikings.
That's a couple times now. Carthage has really had to force something up at the end of the shot clock because of how sturdy the Augustana defense has been for the full 30 seconds. And so Augustana, credit to them. They've really done a nice job of staying in front and making it tough for the Firebirds.
Making it tough, though, are the Firebirds, at least on the defensive side. Good block on a pass that Berg was trying to make. And now it'll be onto the outside for Melton. Melton swinging it over to the near side for Tatum. Back over to Melton, driving in with the left hand, tries to go back to her right. She gets the basket to fall, and it's a lead again for Augustana, 17-15.
Really nice move there. Good footwork from Melton.
Nice full court pass, then eventually gets over to Knable, just can't get the basket to fall. It was right there. Oh.
Yeah, you're going to want that. I'm sure Atlanta would want that one back. It's just almost like what sometimes it's like you're too open and you rush it a little bit.
Yeah.
She could have, just laid it higher off the glass there. But Carthage needs to, with the way Augustana is playing defense, they need to take advantage of opportunities like that because baskets been hard to come by.
Well, and that was their first fast break opportunity, and then a corner shot score from Carly Stone makes it now 20-15. I think they called that one a 3 as well.
And there you can see Augustana, they don't take a lot of them, but when they've put up the threes, I think they're 2 or 3 from behind the arc, so being opportunistic from the three-point line.
Mariana Morrissey breaking, though, the drought for the Firebirds. Getting to the line. Sorry, she needs to make them first, but at least put a little bit of a slowing things down on what was happening for the Vikings.
And Mariana Morrissey, I would say, it's not her, she would admit, not her strongest suit, free throw shooting, but it seems like, again, with how well Augustana's played defense, things like fast break points, those opportunities that you should cash in by the hoop, and free throws are going to play a huge factor the rest of the game.
So she gets the first one. Second one is up. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Maybe she heard you and took offense.
Hey, you know what? If that's what I'm sure, if that's what it takes for her to knock those down,
we'll do it.
We'll allow it. I mean, one thing that is undeniable is her ability to get to the free throw line.
Trap finally works there in the corner too for the Firebirds. So now they're starting to get the engine roaring as they will work this ball around the outside. Pass over to the near side, over for Acosta as they come back over to the far side, driving in and then passing it back around to Morrissey. Morrissey driving with the left hand, swings it back out for a wide open corner three, rims out, rebound fought for, and it stays here with the Firebirds as it comes over to the near side, back to the top of the key. Aram passes it back over and back inside. Oh, she tried to go for the quick handoff. I think there, LaBosco just probably could have gone up and had a better opportunity.
Yeah, almost just a little too unselfish there, but you like the ball moving there for the Firebirds. They really had Augustana scrambling around defensively.
Morrissey going up and will get fouled again. So Mariana Morrissey back to the free throw line for 2 more.
And we mentioned Mariana Morrissey is going to have to play a bigger role offensively for Carthage, and last 2 possessions being really aggressive. A 60% free throw shooter, so by no means, I'm not trying to say she's an awful free throw shooter, but you know, she's going to have to really capitalize today.
3 for 3 so far, though, so having a good day shooting from the line. We'll see if she can make it 4 for 4 here and make this a 1-point game. Rims out there. Rebound, though. She gets her own as it tipped off of a Vikings player. Pass back on to the outside as now a chance to tie this game up or take a lead from the 3. That's good from Nora Aram.
Aram, as I said, did not shoot well last game, but making up for it as Morrissey gets a steal. Oh.
Now they'll try to break this press that's on. Will the Vikings still haven't gotten across the midline, and now they finally do cross the timeline over on the far side. It's Erickson. Erickson driving in, passes it back, stolen away by Aram, as she will now throw it over to the near side. They will be Morrissey as they will get their offense set up. Aram passing it back over for Morrissey. Morrissey driving with the left-hand dribble, back to the top of the key for Thistle. Thistle looking inside. Turning around now with the ball is Orozco. Pass back out as now driving in with the right hand, and it falls. Nice shot from number 12 in Emma Carlson.
I mean, that is Emma Carlson, just how talented she is. I mean, she gets that ball in the wing, and being a big center type of player, she's still got the moves, the quickness, and the ability to finish at the rim.
Driving in, almost a travel, but the ball was stolen away first, and now it's Thistle pushing it back up court for the Firebirds. 3-point lead for the Firebirds. Morrissey with that dribble drive, passing it back out. And now Aram for 3 again. That one hits off. Not going to be able to save the ball from going out of bounds, though. It was almost an air ball there. She was feeling herself after that last one.
For sure. I mean, you can see her kind of laughing about it. Almost like sometimes you get a little too juiced up to let that fly. But again, Carthage, you could see the ball movement. It started with Morrissey driving to the basket, kicking it out to the wings, and then you get someone like Aram by herself, and you're going to want those opportunities more often than not, because especially this afternoon, she's been able to capitalize.
As we see the replay here, I think this is what eventually ends up being the basket there on that side.
And again, we talked about how Carthage really does a nice job on the rebounding side of things, and there's Aram putting up a 3. But Carthage right now, +5 on the offensive rebounding side, 8 rebounds to 3, and I can sense there's been a couple times that Carthage would have came up empty without those offensive rebounds, and Carlson able to take it to the basket.
Second chance points are important, and they're probably, I know they've gotten at least a few off of them is the good thing, so.
6 points to a second chance point, so there you go.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, Carthage is, you can feel confident if you can shoot the ball and know that, hey, we've got players in white that are going to go track that thing down and give us another opportunity if we miss it. And so I think if you're Coach Feinborn, you got to think, how can we eliminate some of these offensive rebounding opportunities? And someone like Callie Papez are going to be important because she's the height on the team, but not on the floor right now.
Yeah, both of these teams height-wise are at least pretty even, as now the shot from the outside doesn't fall there for Tia Lewis. And now fight for the ball. Lewis ends up with it on the ground, and she tries to hold on, and we've got ourselves another jump ball. Possession arrow still favors. I don't think they ever switched the possession arrow after last time, but either way, it's staying with Augustana.
Well, it might have been the quarter.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
I had the same feeling, though, to be fair. I was thinking Carthage just did this, it felt like in the first quarter. And
Yeah.
Augustana got it back. But, yeah, Carthage started the second quarter with the ball, so I think that's why the hustle not able to be rewarded, but you flip the switch back over to the Firebird side.
Hayes passing it to Smith. Smith driving in with the right hand, doesn't get the basket to fall. Did they say she was in the air when she was fouled? It looks like they are, so she will go to the line for 2.
First personal, second team foul.
Yeah, Aram almost like gets called for the foul, but it looked like she was trying to back away from a challenge, but they still said, kind of got some body into Dolly Smith, so the call was fouled.
Well, Smith missed that first one, and as the great Rasheed Wallace once said, ball don't lie. She does make the second, though, which makes it a 2-point game, 21-23, Carthage with the lead.
Oh, Rasheed Wallace, what a character that guy was.
Always a fun basketball player to watch, that's for sure. Hayes with the ball after they turned it over, and then offensive foul gets called, so it'll go right back over to the Firebirds. So we'll see if they have a better inbound this time.
And that's something interesting. Now we've mentioned Thistle is actually taking a break here, everyone. Headline news, Thistle is on the bench.
Well deserved, that's for sure. She's been playing a good game so far. Roscoe passing it back over to Aram, who gets it down inside now for Roscoe. Goes up for the basket. And good. 25-21 now for the Firebirds.
She's really blossomed offensively. And there's Grace Wamser. Well, she's a destructive force on the defensive end. But Roscoe's really become comfortable offensively.
That elbow three again from Aram doesn't fall this time. A little bit closer than the last one, but fighting for the ball. Oh, Mariana Morrissey, she had almost able to get that one back, but ends up going back over to Augustana.
And Paige Melton almost inviting a little foot race with Mariana Morrissey, and something we've talked about all season. And Morrissey's career is she's one of the fastest players on the floor at any given time, any game. And the hustle by Morrissey able to stop that press and knock the ball out and get her defense set up.
Smith passing the ball over to the far side. Tatum back down low over to Stone. Stone turnaround shot falls. 25-23, 2-point game.
Nice little shot there. A little turn fadeaway, knocking it down, and Augustana's going to need some baskets like that to stay in this game as Carthage trying to extend the lead here.
As they work the ball around to the outside. And now look to get it back down low. That one tipped away, but stays with the Firebirds. Is nice little handoff pass over to Aram, who had cut in, and she gets herself an easy 2.
How about Aram there? She's taking a lot of threes early in the game, but there she just sneaks in, almost steals the ball out of Carlson's hand and able to get the layup.
Press broken, and Pepez wide open down low, gets the basket to keep this one at a one-score game.
And there's another little sketchy inbound pass there, and you can see Coach Megan Jones going back with Thistle and Malia Green, because yeah, you can see just a little unsure of breaking the trap, and they need to go back with the starters here.
Do have a quick pass from Thistle to the left side. Now back outside, Green fakes the shot, passing it back out. Driving in, back out for Green in the corner. Green now assessing, dribbling with the right hand, brings it back up towards the top of the key. Back over to the near side for Morrissey. Morrissey back outside, and now looking to maybe drive in was Thistle, but she'll just instead give it into number 12 in Carlson. Can't get the basket to fall. Ball bounces out of bounds, and I think it's staying here with the Firebirds.
So yeah, it's not an offensive rebound, but even just Carlson putting the heat on Augustana trying to rebound, they get it back again. And another situation where Augustana really played tough defense for 30 seconds, but Carthage is going to get another 20 to try again.
Wamser passing it around, and now it'll get back up top. And now to Green for the three. That one off the rim. 45 seconds left here to go in the first half. 27-25 the lead for Carthage. Driving in, trying to get the shot off, and she's going to get fouled. It looks like is number 20 in Stone. So Carly Stone will go to the line for 2.
Carly Stone being aggressive there. It looked like Malia Green might have got the shot blocked, but I think her arm was in there, caught up in Carly Stone. And credit to Augustana and Carly Stone being aggressive here and hanging around, making it tough.
Misses that first shot. So no chance to tie it here, but it can at least get it to within 1 point. Hits the second, so she makes one, misses one, and now it's a 1 point game with 38 seconds left. As it's going to be Morrissey inbounding the ball. Pass over to Green, back over to Morrissey. She gets tripped up, caught in the feet of Audrey Erickson, so that's going to be a foul on her.
And Audrey Erickson a little like, what did I do? I was just running, and sometimes
it happens.
Yeah, right? It's like clearly she wasn't trying to foul Morrissey, but the feet get tangled up, and refs can't let that go.
They're going to hold it here to take a lot of time off the clock. There will be still about 4 seconds left on that shot, or on the clock after the shot clock runs out. Thistle looking for the pass inside. Nice little play. She gets fouled as she goes up for a Roscoe, so she'll go to the line for two.
Nice little pick and roll game there as Roscoe slip into the basket, and there's Thistle, the CCIW leading assist leader in the CCIW, and threads a pass there to Roscoe.
Good play, too, that little off-ball action that they did to get Roscoe open, too. So we'll see if she can hit her shots here and extend the lead. First one is up, rims in and good, so it's back to a 2 point lead. Had chance to make it a 3 point lead if she hits this one.
Roscoe, a 78% free throw shooter, so solid from the line, as you can see.
Hits them both. So 3 point game here with 12 seconds left. As the ball gets into the feet of a couple players, that's going to be a jump ball, and this time the possession arrow is for the Firebirds. So they're going to get one more shot opportunity here before the half ends.
Yeah, Dolly Smith, a lot of pressure on the freshman to beat a trap like this, and there she just tried to dribble her way through it, but Carthage able to knock it away.
Oh, that pass Jess gets to Morrissey, bounces it off the glass, and good to give it another 2 points, 31-26. Augustana trying to hurry down the court, just throwing it in the air as she lost the dribble was Erickson. Doesn't even get close to the rim. So a 31-26 lead at the half for Carthage. Much tougher of a game this time that they're finding themselves in, although the second half is really when they turned the Jets on last time that they played the Vikings.
Yeah, we talked about Carthage and Augustana in the first quarter. Augustana had the turnover lead that flipped here in the second quarter, with Augustana now 11 turnovers to Carthage's 7, and I think at the end of the half here, that's what got them up 5 points as they head into the break.
Yeah, you really saw the defense come alive here, it seemed like, in that second quarter. Much better second quarter they had than last time they played these Vikings as well, where they were outscored last time. But I think now we can take ourselves our timeout, and when we come back, it'll be time for the third quarter here at Tarble Arena.
Satori Energy, Azure Bus, Bridge 410, BSN Sports, Composing Construction, Catalyst Exhibits, Culvers, the Stella Hotel and Ballroom, and Each Imaging, Waterfront Warehouse, and Haribo. challenge. We have a contestant on each end of the floor. They'll each have an opportunity to score a layup, free throw, and three-pointer all in 30 seconds to win a Carthage College sweatshirt. On your marks, get set, go! Layup's good on both ends, on to the free throw. Good on the side, just off on the north end. Up for a three-pointer for the win. It's up. All off the mark. Free throw good on the north end. 10 seconds left. And one hit. Oh, just off the mark. And that's time. Fans, let's hear it for our contestants in today's 3 and 30 challenge. And now back to the best pep band in the land with our student conductors, Madison Pozolevich and Shanna Paulson. Take it away.
Welcome you back into Tarble Arena. It's Chris LaBosco here alongside Eric Elger as we take a look at the game stats here so far for this one between the Firebirds and the Vikings. Firebirds with a 31-26 lead here at half. 11 of 32 for their field goals, 2 of 12 from 3. Not getting a lot of those to fall, but they still managed to have a lead here, Eric.
Well, I think, and we've mentioned this quite a bit so far, but you look at the rebounds. I mean, they're matched up 17-17, but Carthage more offensive rebounds than defensive rebounds. I can't say you see that a lot, and that's really been the difference. Carthage, 11 turnovers that they've points off of turnovers, 12 points in the paint, and 14 points off the bench. So it really hasn't been the starters of the Firebirds leading the way. It's been some of the bench points, players like LaBosco getting on the board and helping out every way they can.
Yeah, a lot of bench points was the key for them last time as well. The points off of turnovers, a big difference too. They haven't been getting a lot of fast break opportunities off of those turnovers, but they are getting the points off of them, which is a part of why they have the lead at 31-26.
Yeah, we know Augustana wants to set up the trap like Carthage, and you know, seeing there's no fast break points is kind of crazy because with the way that they really gamble on defensive, usually you see some of those get converted into fast break opportunities, but both teams doing a nice job hustling back on defense and setting back up.
As you look here, you can see the two of the players, Emma Carlson and Malia Green, leading the way in scoring. 6 points for Carlson, 4 for Green, as they are some of your top scorers for the Firebirds.
And you got Noah Aram with 8 points as well, as she was able to knock down 2 threes early in the game. And here's Augustana. It kind of seems like if it's not Papez, it's really come from a cast of characters. Carly Stone had a little run there at the end of the second quarter, but it really feels like the way that Augustana wants to play is, get it inside, and they've shot the ball pretty well. 46% from the field compared to Carthage, 35%. So they've done a better job shooting the ball. It's just been those second chance opportunities that they've given up that have led them into some trouble here going into half.
Yeah, 11 of 32, 34% like you were saying. 2 of 12 from three-point is the big thing. They've been shooting a lot of threes. See if they start falling once we get here into the second half. We're going to take another quick timeout. When we come back, it'll be time for the third quarter.
The Aspire program is part of the Aspire Center, and the Aspire Center is our 4-year career and professional development program here at Carthage College. The Aspire program is really different and unique from other colleges and universities' career programs because instead of what the typical experiences of senior year trying to go get a job or an experience after college, we want students to build their experiences starting from day one. So whether that means going and finding an alumni panel that they're going to learn from an alumni about the career industry that they're excited about, or if it means getting an internship or a research experience that's going to build their portfolio, we want the students to develop and learn who they are so they can really leave Carthage with a very good sense of purpose and understanding before they actually leave the college. Every student that comes to Carthage has their own individual career specialist. This is a person who specializes in the industry field that they're going into. For example, we have a career specialist for our arts, communication, and culture students. This is a person who's been working as a graphic designer for the past 20 years. And she's responsible for helping those students get opportunities and experiences along the way.
I landed my first internship as a freshman at Deloitte, which is #1 of the Big 4 accounting firms in the world. Through the Aspire program, I was able to develop skills that helped me in interviews as well as networking with other professionals.
right there.
Lead up to 9 now, almost to a 10-point lead for Carthage, as it is 37 to 28. We've had the timeout here with 4:19 left to go in quarter number 3.
And something that I felt has been really important is, I mean, you can see why Thistle plays so many minutes. She was able to get the rebound in that last possession and able to beat the trap. Almost took out 3 defenders by herself, and so Thistle just so secure with the ball, keeps her head up, dribbles both hands really well, and I mean, it's something that doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but you know, it's an important part of the game is getting the ball on the other side of the court.
Yeah.
And sometimes Carthage has had some issues, but Thistle's the calming presence.
Yeah, they didn't get a quick basket off of her breaking the trap, but they did get set into their offense quickly, and then that eventually led 2 points, and now we get to see here Carlson from the free throw line, her first one. That one's up and good. Makes it a 10-point lead for Carthage.
Carlson, a 70% free throw shooter, so again, kind of does it on all facets of her game. Just well-rounded player.
Makes both there for Carlson, makes it 39 to 28. She checks out immediately too, as it looks like that's Grace Cord coming back in for the Firebirds, as they now have this 11-point lead with 4:19 left to go here in quarter 3. That trap effective already. The ball doesn't get to Stone, but it does cause another inbound, and they've already worked off some time on that shot clock.
Aram crashing down there, knocked the ball out of bounds.
Pass back into the middle to a player coming back, and now back over to the near side. This time they break the trap effectively. It's Tatum passing it back around as it gets over to Smith. Smith back over to Tatum. Little two-player game there. Now they finally go inside, find at the free throw line. It was Pepez. Can't get it to fall. Rebound. Foul was called. I think this one is staying here with the Vikings. And actually, it's a shooting foul. Didn't think it was going to be a shooting foul.
Kind of interesting how that came out. But credit to Cadence Tatum, able to come out of there. Tatum's been a really nice player for Augustana. Got 5.5 rebounds, 8 points a game, but also 4th in the CCIW in assists, so just kind of filled up the stat sheet. And there, as the crowd goes wild, free cheese curds, 2 missed free throws. Fans going home with some curds tonight, and hopefully the Carthage victory as well.
Now, I think that might be a jump ball. So, and the arrow points towards the Vikings. So, I think that was Thistle driving in, got her pocket picked almost. But it ends up being a turnover still regardless.
And here's Wamser, who's just been almost like a stick of dynamite off the bench. You can see how much pressure, almost able to force a 10-second violation herself. And there, speeds her up.
And now trying to get the rebound, passes it away. So it's going to go back over to the Firebirds, as now it'll be Thistle bringing this one up court. Pass over to the far side. Aram able to just get a hand on it. Now driving right side. Ooh, almost hit the baseline there with the ball, but didn't quite get there. Now back up to Aram, who swings it back over to Thistle. Thistle for a player open on that far side. Not able to get the shot to fall, though, was Wamser. Wamser back outside. This time it's Aram for 3, and hers is good. 42 to 28. The Firebirds are coming alive.
Second chance opportunities again. Wamser not able to knock it down. Orozco picks up the offensive rebound, and there's Aram alone. She's had a lot of shots where uncontested, and she's been able to knock down a majority of them.
Ball went off a Firebird there. I think it went off Aram on the shot from Paige Melton. So 14 seconds on the shot clock here for the Firebirds, or sorry, for the Vikings, as the Firebirds looking to put some pressure in. Pepez came back in, and she immediately gets a basket off of that inbound play. But quickly pushing the ball up court is Thistle. Thistle will get the offense set up. That one deflected out of bounds off of Audrey Erickson, so it will stay with the Firebirds, and Wamser will look to inbound.
Yeah, Thistle does a nice job of not letting a trap get set up and just gets across and We'll see where offense goes through for the Firebirds, but it's been a patient, methodical quarter here for the Firebirds.
Cross-court pass, now cross-court again over to Aram. Couldn't quite handle it as the shot clock starts to come down, and she trips and falls. Got a little bit tangled up in the feet, it looked like there. So I think they're going to call that, though, on Aram. So turnover for the Firebirds.
Yeah, she felt the shot clock counting down, knew she had to make something happen, and just gets her feet tangled up. But Aram is someone who is, not a starter, but is willing to take on the offensive responsibility, and she has been electric tonight, leading Carthage in scoring, which I cannot say she has done this year. So a big night so far for Aram.
12-point game as the Vikings look to try and get this one down to maybe 10. They can get it 2 here. The pass deflects away from Papaz, though. They managed to keep it here. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Tatum driving in, pass over to the near side. Basket no good because we had a whistle beforehand. Offensive foul is the call.
And that's Aram absorbing the contact. And another stat I would like to see is charges drawn. And Aram I would put up there as someone who has taken more than a handful of them this season. And there she got the travel on the other end and picks up the charge to get the ball back in the Firebirds' hands.
Round to Aram for another 3. That one hits the back of the rim, doesn't fall. Quickly pushing forward, though, is Erickson. Erickson back out to the outside with the pass over to Berg. Berg hands that one off and now gets back up top, looking back down inside for Papaz. She spins around, tries to just go up, throws it off the glass and gets the bank. Bank is open for Papaz today.
I mean, Wamser, or Grace Core did all she could, really, and just the height of Papaz able to just smash it into the hoop.
Firebirds end up keeping the ball here. Bounced off of a couple players for that to happen. We got a couple of starters coming back in with 58 seconds left. One of them in Mariana Morrissey, and then it looks like Roscoe also checking back in. So Thistle looking to be the one to inbound here. Finds a open little floater that doesn't fall for Nora Aram. And now it'll be Papaz just dribbling it up court here with 48 seconds left to go.
And if you're Carthage, you pretty much know where Augustana is going to turn to. And how can they try to, as you can see, they're setting screens to get her loose, and man.
Get the different matchup and just take the basket on the shorter player. And now it's going to be Morrissey. It's back down to an 8-point lead now for the Firebirds. 23 seconds left, 2 seconds, about 1.5 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock.
Yeah, Coach Mark Beinborn did a nice job at Augustana of really putting some traffic in there to get Papaz loose.
Pass down low. We got a whistle beforehand. See what it is.
That's a big foul there, too, because this will be Augustana's 5th.
So that will, didn't see who the foul was on.
It was on number 20, Carly Stone, and that's her 4th foul.
So she's got to be careful then here as well as we get close to this 4th quarter. First one up and good from Roscoe.
Roscoe 78% from the line.
And now you have to deal with the bonus too. That's always tough. As that one bounces off of oh, they called that. I thought that was going to be Firebirds ball. They called it Vikings ball. So 7 seconds left here. They should have an opportunity to go down for one more opportunity.
Morrissey was pointing to someone in the crowd. It's like, you saw that too, right?
Yeah. From our vantage point, it looked like it was off of a Viking, but the ref is closer to the action than we are. As the ball comes over to the far side. As the shot goes up, not going to even make it to the basket. 43-34. 9-point lead for the Firebirds going into this 4th quarter. And with how they play defense, 9's a pretty big lead.
I mean, it's just, you take a look at their point differential per quarter. They were up 2 after the first. Then they were up 5 after the second. And here they outscored Augustana by 4. So it's just really just been almost like an anaconda squeezing its prey slowly. It's not been a quick, painful death for Augustana, but Carthage's defense has really just as I said, just made it really tough. And someone like, I mean, where would Augustana be without someone like Callie Papez? I mean, it's really been all her through this game, as she is now up to 18 points. So over half the points for the Vikings coming from one player.
And she's the hot hand too, so you got to keep feeding her the ball. And they've really been trying to run the offense through her too. So
yeah, even on inbounds plays, you can see that they really set screens and try to get her free, and it is for the most part really worked, because I mean, she's shooting 9 of 13 from the field as well. Let's take a look at some of the Firebird leaders. As I mentioned, Aram, 11 points, leading the team, and we'll have to talk to Sam, our statistician, but I don't think she's led the Firebirds in scoring this year, so a kind of a surprise, but a welcome surprise if you're the Firebirds. And as we mentioned for the Vikings, half the points coming from Callie, and the rest of the team, you know, you're at a point where you got to start thinking about some three-point shots. I mean, it's not really their game, but it just feels like if they just keep at the pace they're at, he's going to have a hard time coming back.
One more quarter of play left here if the Firebirds can hold on to their lead. This one comes over to Thistle, and it bounces off of the hands. Looking was Knable. She looked to go before she caught the pass. And now, you were speaking of threes, there's one that they need to try and get back into this one for Emma Berg. And now the Vikings have brought this one that much closer. 6 points. The difference is there's a turnover as the Vikings are now coming storming back as Hayes looked to drive in, but now will pass it down low, almost turned over. Dribbling along the baseline is Tatum, got it back outside. Back over to Hayes. Hayes, another shot from the outside. She left it short. That should be Firebirds' ball. But it's down to 6 now after that three-pointer.
I mean, someone like Emma Berg, who is third in the CCIW, and three-pointers made per game, so right on cue, as we said, our Augustana going to mix it up on offense, and she was able to knock one down for the Vikings. But that last shot, I mean, I think you'd like to see either, you know, be behind the three-point line to get a three, or that long two was a tough look for the Vikings and coming up empty.
Carlson with the ball now, passes it over to Morrissey. Morrissey back over, and there's a three to answer right back from Elena Knable.
And as I said, opportunistic. I mean, just 4 of 20 coming into the game, 20%, but hey, knocking down 2 threes this game already.
So now we'll see if the Vikings can respond after giving up the 3 there. On the outside is Tatum. Tatum passing it over to the far side to Emma Berg. Berg step back, didn't take the shot, pass back out, and now it's Hayes driving baseline back to Papez, and she gets nothing but the bottom of the net on her shot for that 2. Gets it back to 7. But the fast break opportunity in the basket. Another 2 points for Emma Carlson.
Nice pass there from Elena to Carlson, and able to erase. I mean, like I said, it's just Augustana really has to work for those 2 points, and it's going to be hard to believe that Papez can just continue to make every shot she takes. It feels like she does, but is that a reliable source to get back in the game here?
Well, the person who made that previous basket taking the shot outside, and Berg not able to get it, or at least he made that 3 earlier. And now it's back into Green's hands. Quickly swing it around to Morrissey. Morrissey with the dribble drive, pass back out, around to the corner for a 3. Doesn't get it this time, does Knable, but they get the rebound and a basket to make it 50-39.
Knable to Carlson. Now that wasn't a pass from Knable, but Carlson able to pick up the offensive rebound, scoops it up, easy bucket, and man, Carthage just been all over the offensive rebounds this game. Currently at 11 offensive rebounds to just 5 for Augustana, so man, that has really been a huge factor. When you take a look at the 11-point lead, a lot of second chance opportunities for the Firebirds.
Yeah, to get it back up to 11-2 when it was down to 6 at one point in this fourth quarter, so the offense really coming alive at the time that they need it most. Still 7:27 left in this fourth quarter, but like we said, this is not, when you're playing a defense like the Firebirds, this is not a normal 11-point lead that you're trying to erase.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge hill to climb, and you can see at Carthage, you know, if they can break the press, run their offense, run some time off the clock, and get a good look and continue to do that, you know, if Carthage takes care of the ball, it's going to be tough for Augustana to come back. But I think if you're Augustana, you really want to ramp up the aggression, try to get into the passing lanes, try to get some, you know, steals, and it's going to take more than just Callie Papaz to get you into this game. So which one of your offensive threats is going to step up to ride along Papaz? And what a night Papaz has had, 20 points already. And it feels almost unstoppable at times, but thankfully for Carthage, they can let her get hers, and the Firebird defense will lock up on the other four, and it's been a recipe for success.
Spread scoring too for the Firebirds. Nobody, you know, we don't have a 20-point score on the side for the Firebirds here as they set their trap up once again. As they get the ball to Tatum for the Vikings, they finally break the trap. Melton now back down low into the near corner, and it's working around is Stone. Stone will get that ball and then back down into the middle there for Melton. Melton not going to be able to get that one, and it comes back over for the Firebirds.
Really nice pass, but that was going to be a tough shot for Cadence Tatum to hit.
And now wide open, Green can't get the basket to fall though. Really good opportunity though for Malia Green on that quick transition.
Yeah, there Augustana able to get the defense back, and you know that when you gamble defensively, it's going to open up some open shots like that, and Malia Green hits those more often than not.
Pass inside from Papaz to Melton. Rebound though, Vikings still control. As this one comes back up top for Tatum. Tatum back over to the far side. Running out of time here on the shot clock. Looking for the pass inside. This one going up with the left hand, and good was Cadence Tatum. So they get a shot, but that took a lot of time. Still a 9-point lead.
And here Carthage already back on the other end.
And there's going to be the foul onto Papaz. She had to foul the player coming in Orozco. So Orozco to the line, and she's already made a few here tonight from the free throw line.
And that's feel like a couple times where Augustana really worked and worked and worked. They get 2 points, but then it's almost like 5 seconds later, Carthage is on the other end, erasing all that hard work they did offensively. And here's Orozco at the free throw line. She knocks them both down. Carthage going to be back up by double digits.
Almost a full sail change, too, for the side of the Vikings. Papaz goes to the bench, at least for a little bit, which when she's your leading scorer, that's going to hurt you. And Orozco misses that first free throw, but she's got another one here.
Yeah, you would guess that Coach Mark Beinborn not going to leave her on the bench too long here, because they really need to sell out here to try to get the 10-point deficit cut down.
51-41, Vikings breaking the trap. Over on that far side is Dolly Smith handling the ball, calling out what she wants her team to do. Passes it to the near side over to Erickson. Erickson directing traffic. Driving now with the right hand, gets inside. Now passing it out to the far corner. And now driving in, gets the basket, and will go to the line to shoot another is Carly Stone.
What a take there. Really, I think everyone in the gym thought she was going to launch that three. Gets that quick first step and able to do a little up and under, draw on the contact, and get into the line.
Makes the free throw to cut the lead. 51-44, as now a quick pass into the middle, 7-point game. As they don't get the quick opportunity off of that, but now shot from three. That one hits off the back rim. Rebound, that should be, I think, Firebirds ball still. And we're going to have a couple substitutions for the side of the Firebirds. Carlson coming back in.
Yeah, that's the chess match there. She saw Coach Megan Jones sees Papaz jump into the lineup, and there comes Carlson to match.
Thistle passing it over to the far side. Carlson back up to Thistle. Thistle with the shot, drains it, extending the lead back to 10.
Emma Thistle's first bucket of the game. Shooter's going to shoot. He was 0 for 7, but there, a big 3.
And another basket from the Vikings quickly on the other end, this time from number 30 in Paige Melton. And now they push the ball back up, though. Firebirds quickly getting back on the offensive side. Aram back outside. Carlson looked like she was going to shoot, drives instead, spins around, back to the outside, over for Orozco as they work the ball back around now on the outside of the perimeter. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Driving in was Orozco. Has to pass it out for Carlson. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Takes the shot, bounces off the back part of the rim, and it'll be Vikings now with a chance to cut back into this lead.
Yeah, Carthage moving the ball well, and Emma Carlson able to get a look, but not able to connect. But I think if you're Carthage, just continue to be patient and continue to be stout defensively.
Pick and roll, staying with it the entire way, and scoring was Audrey Erickson. Gets this back to a 6-point game, but quickly up the court goes Thistle, driving in towards the middle, gets it to Aram over on the far elbow, near elbow, and now towards the near baseline. They will pass it back out and around as they're going to work some time off the clock here. And it's back up top to Thistle. Thistle crosses over, pass to the near side, wide open. Carlson can't get it to fall, and Pepez gets the rebound.
I was going to say, not many three-point attempts in the season. That's just Carlson's 3rd attempt of the year.
Ooh, getting inside, getting her own rebound was Melton, and she's going to go to the line. A chance to make this a 4-point game.
And how about Augustana, relying on the youth movement here? You've got on the floor Paige Melton, a sophomore. You've got the junior, yes, Carly Stone, but someone like Tia Lewis, freshman. And you've also got number 12, Audrey Erickson, freshman. So the youth causing a little, starting a little spark here for the Vikings. And we talk about 3.5 minutes, only 6 points. I mean, that's, 2 shots, and Augustana could be right back in it.
Especially if they're able to get these free throws. That's, I think, going to be one of the big keys for them with 3:32 left to go. We had a substitution, I think, coming in there, too. We had the timeout taken. I think it was Coach Jones who took this timeout, probably wanting to settle the team down, watching the lead disappear.
Yeah, and I think offensively, it's just like, I think we talked about being patient, but I think there's something to be said about almost being too patient with the lead, and, instead of staying aggressive.
A lot of outside shots, too.
Yeah, and I think, something if you're Coach Jones, it's like, yeah, let's be patient, but, hey, let's continue to attack. Let's go out and, really bring the game to them rather than kind of let it, sometimes if teams just kind of let it happen, they're like, we got a lead, let's just keep the lead. If your focus becomes more about keeping the lead than it is extending it, sometimes that's what gets teams back.
So now we'll have the first one here from Paige Melton. That first one up and good for Paige Melton on the year from the free throw line. She is a 57% free throw shooter, 12 of 21. So it'd be big if she makes the second one here, and she does. Gets it to a 4-point game with 3:32. No press, no trap this time.
Interesting.
From the side of Augustana, just half court is how they're going to play their defense here, as this one gets worked around the perimeter by the Firebirds. Orozco driving in, passing it back outside to Aram. Aram gets it over to number 21 in Thistle. Thistle from the right elbow, passing it over to Aram. Getting low in the shot clock again. 5 seconds left. 3-point shot again. Hits the front of the rim. Rebound out, though, controlled by Thistle. Looking for the cutter, but not able to get it to Orozco to do anything, and now they'll get it back out to Aram.
Carthage able to get the fortunate long rebound there. I mean, Thistle not crashing the boards at all. It just came to her. And
there goes Morrissey with the left hand. Gets fouled, so she'll go to the line for 2.
Still, I hope you really think she's going to make that, and it just gets bumped enough to get knocked off the course. But in crunch time, the free throws become even more crucial. So can Morrissey knock these down after Augustana wasn't able to connect on both on the other end?
Might be playing a little offense-defense here with substitutions. Wamser comes back in for the side of the Firebirds as the first free throw up and missed by Morrissey. So need to try and at least get this lead to 5. If you can, make it a harder 2-possession game. Second one up and good, so that extends the lead back to 5 with 2:48 left, and Looks like we're going to have some offensive defensive substitutions as well for the Vikings as number 24 comes in Emma Berg.
And it's interesting to see, I mean, Carthage ahead, and they're still being pressuring on defense and trapping. Augustana behind, they drop back defensively. An interesting move, and see how that pays out.
Well, they are controlling here on the offensive end, out to the far side for Berg. Berg back out up top. As controlling things is Tatum. 2:30 left in this game. Need to get a basket here soon. Shot clock running out. Pepez getting the ball inside, passes it back away over to the near side. Tatum just throws up a shot. The ball comes free, and the shot clock goes. So a good defensive effort from the Firebirds to get this ball back.
Yeah, what a stout. I mean, you can see Grace Wamser anticipated that entry pass to Pepez and able to knock it loose, and that's what caused the 30-second shot clock violation. So yeah, Carthage able to have a defensive stop and take 30 seconds off the clock, so win-win for them.
And it allows them to do their offensive defensive substitution. Orozco's back into the game. Carlson now back onto the outside, over to Morrissey. Now looking back inside for Orozco, has it in her right hand, pass along the baseline, and we're going to have a, did they call? Looks like it's going to be an offensive foul. I didn't know if it was the baseline or an offensive foul, but I believe it was offensive foul.
Yeah, I think Coach Jones her argument there is, let the ref standing right in front of the play make that call instead of, someone over with a different viewpoint. So I think that was her main argument there, and a turnover regardless for the Firebirds, and can Augustana cut it to one possession game?
We'll see what they decide to look for in the shot here. Tatum the one with the ball. Minute 44 left to go, and we have a whistle off ball. I think that's another offensive foul, this time obviously on the Vikings, so that's one offensive foul on one side, one offensive foul on the other side.
Giveth and taketh away there, and credit to Carlson sticking in there. Looks like she took an elbow or two, but you don't feel that if you come out with a victory here.
Thistle at the top of the key, dribbling to the right, has a pick from Morrissey. Pass over there, gets deflected, but still held on to by the Firebirds. Almost stolen away as it now goes back over to Carlson. Back to Thistle. Thistle calling it out. Trying to work this shot clock. 4 seconds. Cross-court pass. Driving back over to Carlson. In with the right hand. And that's going to be another shot clock violation. This time it'll be ball for the Vikings.
It's been interesting a couple times where they've had Carlson on that elbow, baseline there, and that's not really, somewhere where she wants to be with the shot clock winding down, and she really just kind of had to put something up there, hoping for a prayer.
Trap is on again, breaking it though, at least for the moment, as Erickson loses the handle though, has to pass it away, gets it free to Tatum. Minute left to go in this game. Tatum ends up falling to the ground, tries to pass it away, stolen away by Thistle instead, and she will just hold on to the ball and dribble things out. 5-point lead. Tatum back outside, was Thistle to Carlson, and now they work it all the way back to her. 16 seconds left on the shot clock.
And Augustana electing to play it out. They need the stop.
Looking to set up the high pick and roll here with Carlson. Dribbles off to the left side, getting inside, puts it up, gets fouled by Audrey Erickson, so she will go to the line for two. A lot of time taken off the clock, though. 29 seconds now, and you hit these two shots, it's a 3-possession game.
Thistle just had that thing on a string there, kind of that backwards and forward stutter step, and able to shake free and get to the line. What a huge drive there from Thistle, because they come up empty. The pressure really is going to be put on their defense, and now if you got Thistle calmly knock these two down, you're in a good spot.
Hits the first. Makes it a 6-point gain. Again, one more, and it turns into a 7-point game. And for Thistle, 72% on the year, but misses that all-important one. And then I think we had a timeout called here.
Yeah, Augustana wants to move the ball across half court here. And if you're Augustana, I don't think you need to, shoot the three yet. But you are getting to that point where, I mean, if you're just going to go down to Pepez down low, continue with the 2-point baskets, I mean, you need 3 of those versus 2 threes. I know it's math, and that's not very difficult math here, but it'd be interesting to see how aggressive they are from the 3-point line.
Right. Well, the one good thing about being able to move the ball up the court, too, you can draw up what you want to run offensively here.
Regardless, you would think they were looking for a quick 2. You know, you're not going to waste the whole shot clock. The shot clock's not even on. So if you're the Vikings, if you can get a good look, get a 2-point basket within, 5, 6, 7 seconds, hopefully get a turnover, and you're right back in this game. But if you're Carthage, the one thing you do not want to do is foul, try to give them an and one opportunity or anything like that. So just stay solid defensively, make it difficult, and make sure you pass the ball in bounds when you get it back.
You're also at that point, too, where you're probably going to be playing the foul game as well. So the other thing that you're doing here, if you are Coach Beinborn, is you're telling the players to foul immediately after the shot. So that way you can obviously try to get the steal on the inbound, then foul. But that is what you're setting up here, and making sure you're reminding your players that that's what you need to do at this point.
And if you're Carthage, your best free throw shooter on the floor right now, LaBosco. So we'll see if she's not on the floor, so forget that. So maybe she'll get her back on there, but
they keep doing defensively. They want Wamser in. As there's the corner 3, that one hits off the back rim. Good rebound, too, by the Firebirds. Immediate foul afterwards. So now to the line will go, I think that's going to be Carlson is the one who ends up going.
Yeah, Augustana got the look they wanted. I mean, that was well executed play there. They get an open look in just a few seconds, and they really needed that one to go in, but they still got plenty of time, 22 seconds. But now you're at the point where you're really gonna have to think about, putting up those 3-pointers.
And really the tough thing too, though, is putting Carlson at the line. You're talking about one of the better free throw shooters, 70% on the year. So you got to hope that she misses a few if you're Augustana. But for the Firebirds, this is exactly what you want to see, is that ball going in. Turn it into a 3-possession game, even if you are taking threes. And that kind of seals the deal here, or should, for the Firebirds, especially if she hits one more. Extend that lead to 8. And the Firebirds are in a good position to win this game with 22 seconds left to go.
And Augustana doing the same thing last possession, calling the timeout to get it across half court. And yeah, Augustana, I bet they're going to do something similar to that last look they were able to generate. Get a quick 3, and who knows what happens. But credit to Carthage. I mean, it's just really been just not a game that it felt like was really free-flowing, or really not much came easy. It was a kind of a grinded-out type of game, getting it into the post area. And Carthage, with that huge offensive rebounding difference, I mean, +6, that has been a huge difference. I mean, with the 8-point lead, Carthage has 15 second chance points to 5 second chance points for Augustana, so you can see the difference right there.
As now we will watch them get set up here for the sign of Augustana. The Vikings trailing by 8, and for the home Firebirds, a great lead that they're holding on to here. A lot of time being taken off the clock. Finally, the 3 gets up. Doesn't hit. Rebound goes back up. Looks like they're going to call a foul for that, but 15 seconds left. Only 2 points. They'll be able to at least maybe try and cut it to 6 if you're the Vikings. But for the Firebirds, you didn't let them hit the 3. You're okay with putting them at the line for only 2.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough, almost got that rebound there and picking up the foul, but it will be interesting. I mean, you would expect Augustana's going to have to really turn up the pressure here on a make, and on a miss, they're going to have to foul right away.
Both good for Paige Melton. Substitutions coming in for the Vikings. 15 seconds left to go, and timeout for Carthage, probably just to make sure that everyone's on the same page. Don't want to have an easy turnover here to be given over to the Vikings, so take that timeout if it's in your pocket.
And here's where, if you're Coach Jones, I mean, you want to free up your best free throw shooter if possible. I mean, not that you're going to like force it in any way, because you really trust your teammates, anyone in the lineup, to be able to knock down their free throws. But yeah, it's one of those things, you know. Carthage, hey, if you can knock down the freebies, you're going to be going home with a victory more than likely.
You wonder too if they substitute in Cord just to have your best free throw shooter in. 87% on the year. You look to inbound the ball to her, Orozco, if they put Cord in, you want to get it to Cord, but Alyssa Orozco wouldn't be bad to give it to, or Emma Thistle as well, who's a 72% free throw shooter. So bunch of options that they have to get this ball inbound too.
Yeah, I think, again, not that you want to like overly try to get it to your best free throw shooters, but if you can,
doesn't hurt.
It'll be nice, right? It doesn't hurt. Go with the percentages, go with the odds, and someone like senior Thistle, or even, you know, Morrissey, more than capable of knocking down 2 throws when they need it.
And Mariana Morrissey's going to be your inbound player though here, and of course they advance the ball up the court as well. We'll see what they decide to do here. Trying to get the ball into Orozco. They do. She gets fouled, so she will go to the line for 2. Good play. It looked like that's who they wanted to get the ball into as well. They had a little play run to get her open, or at least open enough to get the inbound pass.
Yeah, I could see Carlson just standing there, just waiting for Orozco to kind of rub past her shoulder, and got just enough daylight for Morrissey to thread it in there to Orozco. But yeah, that's clearly what Carthage was looking for. And again, if you can knock down the free throws, stay straight up on defense, should be able to ride this out.
Yep, and you can see Wamser probably going to do the same thing, come in as a substitution for Orozco if she hits this next free throw. Missed the first one here, so it stays a 6-point game, so it's a 2-possession game still. Need to hit this second one to make it 7 points. Nothing but the bottom of the net, and it's back up to 7 for the Firebirds, and we do this song and dance again. All those timeouts getting used here by both these coaches.
Yeah, you're you definitely can't go home with those timeouts. And I just saw Coach Beinborn point to the other sideline. I find it interesting your decision at which sideline you want to take it out of bounds. And so they had been going it both times, inbounding it by the
far side. Yeah.
Far side. Here they're going to go our closer side here.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how they set up differently from that far side one.
I may have put a request in for this song. Little Andrew WK for you, all you party hard fans out there.
Always got to party hard. Gotta love Andrew WK.
This one's a don't stop living in the red, and if Carthage can come out on top, the Carthage faithful won't stop living in the red either.
Pass inbound underneath the basket. One dribble, takes the shot, can't get it to fall, was Melton. And now the rebound goes over to the Firebirds, and I think we're going to have another foul here. This time it'll be Thistle that's going to go to the line. And I'm a little surprised they ended up fouling there with how much time ran off the clock. But for the Firebirds, they're going to come out with a win here.
And you can see, I mean, any conference game we saw where the standings were at, Augustana kind of hanging right there in the middle of the pack. And so the middle chunk of the CCIW, it's really competitive basketball. In this game, as we kind of felt Carthage really never gave up the lead once they got there, but Augustana was able to hang around, cut it down to 6 points. There was a moment you thought maybe they could get it to 1 possession, but Carthage able to remain calm, be patient on offense, and really saw this game out here as, you know, it was getting tight. But credit to the Firebirds for getting back on top here.
Resilient the entire way have been the Firebirds. Just one more inbound to go. 3 seconds to pass into the middle. Tatum with the shot. A little too much mustard on that last one, but it is now a 6-3 CCIW record for the Firebirds. The Augustana Vikings move to 3-6. So the records are just transposed there for these two teams, but a good win for the Firebirds. Spread out scoring, a lot of second chance points that they end up getting, Eric. I think they'll be happy with this win. Maybe a little closer than the last time these two played each other, though. But when you play each other more than once, you get used to what a team does.
Yeah, I mean, they really knew. You could tell these teams really knew each other's style, and it just Carthage, just credit to them, and really their full bench output, because those players like Aram that were stepping up, Orozco stepping up, and even though Knable's a starter, not known for three-point shooting, she hits 2 big threes in the second half, and Carthage able to overcome. I mean, they shot 6% less than Augustana, just 34% from the field, but it doesn't matter when at the end of the game you have more points than the other team, so credit to them, forcing turnovers, offensive rebounds, those were the keys.
And I feel like if you're the Firebirds, even though you didn't shoot that well, you didn't take a lot of bad shots. Your shots were still pretty good quality opportunities. But the fact that you get so many second chance points helps you get this win for sure. And I'm sure they'll be happy and look forward to what's coming up next. But the leaders for this game is what we'll look at next here in just a moment. And then, of course, we do have the interview coming up here with Coach Megan Jones. As we can see here, Emma Carlson, 16 points. She was 6 of 10 from the floor. Nora Aram with 11 points. Mariana Morrissey, 9 points for her, 4 rebounds as well to go along with it. And then Alyssa Orozco with 7 points, rounding out your leading scorers.
And for the Vikings, I mean, you can see Callie Papaz, just a huge individual effort, almost gets a double-double, 20 points, 9 rebounds. And even though she had a successful night, her teammates weren't able to capitalize enough around her, and that's why Carthage ended up on top.
So a good win for them. We've got Coach Jones, who will be coming up here soon, as we see Callie Papaz led all scorers with 18 points. Looked like it just changed there. It said 20. And then I watched it change there. No, it was 20 points. 20 total points for Papaz in this game for her. She leads all scorers, followed up by Carly Stone, who had 7 for Augustana. But like we said, a pretty solid win for the Firebirds in this one. And then we should have, in just a moment here, an interview with Coach Megan Jones. As we welcome you back in here, it is Chris LaBosco here along with Eric Elger as we have now with us head coach, Coach Jones. Congrats on the win. A good game from your girls on the offensive glass. Had 13 offensive rebounds and a lot of second chance points. One of the big differences in the game, why do you think they were able to have such a good, what were they doing to get such good opportunities on the offensive board?
Yeah, we talked about that. We talked about that being a big emphasis. They are a great rebounding team themselves. I mean, we ended up even on the game. We had more O boards, but they had more defensive. So we talked about controlling the glass. That just gives us extra possessions to score, taking more shots than they did, and that comes from the offensive glass. And so I thought we did a good job of getting there and limiting their opportunities at the other end, too, to not allow them to have more O boards.
Yeah, and you got, after falling behind earlier in the game, you really were able to get that lead and never looked back. What were some of the keys to it just seemed like you just never gave up a lead, and just every time Augustana started to come back, the Carthage Firebirds had an answer.
Yeah, we talked about putting a lot of pressure on them with our full court press, and so I think that helped to sustain some of that. They weren't ever able to really get downhill and transition. The first quarter, they were getting a lot at the basket, and so we talked about adjusting a little bit, getting into the gaps to take away that downhill drive and kick. And I thought we did a really good job after that. But it was never a lead I felt comfortable with, even though you said there's the lead. But they're a high-energy team. They play really hard, and so I just never felt comfortable. And our players did a good job of finishing it out, even when they got it to 4 there.
Yeah, and someone I wanted to point out as having a big game was Nora Aram. I mean, at one point was leading the team with 11 points, and it just seems like she's someone who will take the charge, is getting on the floor, tying up the basketball, and just a physical force for your team. And what did you like out of Nora Ram this afternoon?
Yeah, she's been playing really well and being really aggressive, especially. She only had 2 rebounds today, but the last 2 games she's been a leading rebounder for us. And I joked one day she had the most rebounds, and she's 5'5", and she said, actually, Coach, I'm 5'4" and 3/4. And so for her to be able to do that and get into the boards, confidently take shots and knock them down, she's playing really confident right now.
She had a very key rebound there, too, towards the end, I think I remember as well. Now looking forward to next game, it's going to be Carroll. They had the win 62-57 against you guys last time. What's going to be the keys going into this next matchup?
Yeah, it's been a long time since we played them, playing them before Christmas, and honestly, I felt like we kind of gave that one away. We were leading a good amount of the game, and then they made some big plays with under 4 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. That we just lost control a little bit, and so I think we need to redeem ourselves. It's going to be a challenge. I mean, they're playing really well. I think they're on a 7-game win streak, and so it'll be a battle, and we just got to prepare, know what is on the scout, and play our game.
Well, on a 3-win streak of your own, so congratulations, Coach, and good luck in that next one, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
That was head coach Megan Jones, and that's going to do it here for the women's game. Again, they end up getting the win here, as we now will have the men's game here soon on. But let's take a look here as we look forward to what's coming next.
I believe we can take a look at what games will be here at the Tarble Arena coming up. I know we have a big volleyball tournament, the Frog Jump Invitational. Here you can see the Firebirds' upcoming schedule. As we mentioned, going to Carroll, who is on as Coach Jones mentioned, a hot streak. So that is going to be a tough and crucial matchup. And then heading to North Park as well before returning home versus North Central.
So yeah, and then of course the big matchup again with Illinois Wesleyan, who's at the top of the conference. And then you look here for the visiting Vikings, where they go next. They go to Elmhurst and then North Central, and then North Park after that one.
Yeah, I mean, you think Vikings, they got a tough team, and you'd expect them to really scratch out a few more victories here as they finish up the rest of their conference schedule.
As we'll have a look here in a moment too. What else is coming live here at Carthage University? Obviously, we know the men's game against Augustana coming up here right next. Eric and I will be back for you with that one, as that one will be starting in about probably at 4:15. It's currently, I haven't even looked at the time yet. We got about 15 minutes or so before that one will get going.
Right on time.
And then we'll have men's volleyball for you. We'll be here on the 30th. Versus Juanita, and then Friday you'll have men's volleyball, 2 games in a row actually for that one.
Yeah, and then you have the men's coming playing at 6, and then there's even more games on Saturday. So, hey, if you're a men's volleyball fan, get down here to the Tarble this weekend. There'll be a lot of matchups, and these are, I mean, Juniata and Stevens are some of the 2 premier programs in the country, and it'll be interesting to see how Carthage matches up.
Definitely will be, but it's time for us to take a quick timeout. When we come back, it's going to be men's basketball time. It's going to be Augustana versus Carthage again, this time just with the men on the court. Eric and I will be back with you here in just a few.